Okay, let's try a little thought experiment. Right now, I want you to imagine that your phone, yeah, the one that's probably in your hand or at least within arm's reach, just vanishes, gone, for 7 straight days. So I gotta ask you, and be honest with yourself, how long would you really last? An hour? A whole day? Could you actually make it the full week? It's a question that cuts right to the core of how our brains are wired in this crazy modern world. All right, let's start the clock. Day 1. The first 24 hours without your phone can basically be summed up in one word: panic. You know the feeling, right? You're patting your pocket for something that isn't there, you swear you feel a phantom buzz, you glance over at your desk and see that empty spot where it's supposed to be. It just feels wrong. And that panicked feeling, that's not just you being dramatic. No, it's a very real, well-documented psychological shock to your system. Your brain is officially in a state of withdrawal, and it's all being kicked off by one very specific, very powerful fear. Yup, we're talking about FOMO, fear of missing out. A study in Frontiers in Psychology points to this as the main engine driving that initial wave of anxiety. It's that nagging voice in the back of your head telling you that everything important, everything fun is happening without you, and you are completely cut off. And that fear doesn't stay in your head for long. It spills out into the real world, creating instant chaos. The same study found that within just a few hours, people started struggling with the absolute basics, things we do without even thinking: coordinating with friends, checking a map, paying for coffee, or heck, even just waking up on time. All those little tools you rely on to get through the day, poof, gone. No, seriously, stop and think about it for a second. How would you plan a night out right now with no group chat, no maps, no nothing? Could you actually do it? So if you manage to survive that first 24-hour wave of panic, something even deeper starts to happen. We're now heading into days 2 and 3, and this is where the real fight begins. Not out in the world, but inside your own head. Remember this number: 72 hours. 3 days. Because according to research from Science Alert, that's all it takes. Just 72 hours of being phone-free is enough to physically start reshaping your brain's activity. The withdrawal you're feeling isn't just an emotion, it's a full-blown neurological event. Now, check this out, because this is where it gets really wild. Researchers put people in MRI scanners and found that cravings for a smartphone light up the exact same reward centers in the brain as cravings for things like nicotine. It's all tied to the same chemical systems, dopamine and serotonin, that are linked to all sorts of compulsive behaviors. So that urge, that need to check your phone, it's coming from the same place in your brain as a serious addiction. But, and this is a big but, if you can just push through that 3-day wall, a turning point arrives. The cravings start to quiet down, your brain starts to adapt, and you begin to notice some really unexpected, really positive side effects of being disconnected. And the very first place you'll probably feel this relief is surprising. It's when your head hits the pillow at night. For what might be the first time in years, you could actually get a truly deep, restorative night of sleep. So here's how that works, according to the European Society of Endocrinology. It's a pretty simple chain reaction. First, without the blue light from your screen blasting your eyeballs all night, your brain's production of melatonin, that's the sleep hormone, finally gets back to normal. And the result? Well, after just 1 week, study participants were falling asleep a full 20 minutes faster. Can you imagine? And just like that, we've made it to the end of the week. You've survived the withdrawal, your sleep is better, the world didn't end. But what's actually different? What's the real, tangible payoff here? The answer is actually pretty shocking. It turns out you don't need to go through a full 7-day digital blackout to get the rewards. A study in Science Daily discovered that just reducing your daily phone use by 1 single hour is enough to unlock some major benefits. And the payoff is huge. We're talking people reporting they felt significantly happier, had better overall mental health, and, get this, higher work satisfaction and a better work-life balance. It's not about ditching your phone forever. It's just about taking back a little bit of control. Which brings us to our last and maybe most important point. We've walked through the panic, the brain chemistry, and the relief, but this whole journey forces us to ask one final, pretty uncomfortable question. After seeing how your brain literally rewires itself, the dependency it creates, and the incredible relief you can feel from just a tiny break, is the phone really the problem here? Maybe the real problem isn't the piece of glass and metal in your pocket at all. Maybe, just maybe, it's the fact that so many of us feel like we simply can't live without it. And that's something we're thinking about.